Greetings, adventurer. My name is Jack, and you are on the Infinite Staircase. Steel dragons, also known to some as Waterdeep dragons, are among the most elusive of the metallic dragons. Rarely seen in their natural form, they prefer to live among humans, blending seamlessly into city life. These dragons often take human shape to observe the flow of art, culture, history, and politics from within society. Their fascination with the intricacies of mortal life sets them apart from their more reclusive kin, who prefer to seclude themselves away in darkened caverns, brooding over their hoards of wealth. In their natural forms, steel dragons have a feline grace, moving with a fluidity uncommon even amongst dragons. Their scales, which shine like polished steel in adulthood, carry the scent of wet metal. Younger steel dragons have darker, blue-grey scales with a subdued sheen. Their wings resemble overlapping blades shaped like feathers, and the scales on their chests are shield-like in appearance. Steel dragons' faces are notably expressive, sometimes appearing almost human-like. Long spines surround their faces, resembling hair and enhancing their distinctive look. When assuming humanoid form, steel dragons rarely reveal their true nature. However, they typically retain a subtle mark of their draconic heritage: steel grey hair, metallic eyes, or unusual tattoos. Steel dragons are resistant to both poison and magical damage, along with being outright immune to damage in the form of acid. They possess innate magical abilities, allowing them to enchant and charm individuals with ease. Their mastery of these subtle magics makes them particularly adept at navigating social and political spheres. They are both curious and sharp-witted, preferring the company of humans, elves, half-elves, and dwarves. They often immerse themselves in mortal cultures, rather than remaining in their natural forms. Their fascination with society makes them natural supporters of adventurers who challenge tyranny in any of its many forms. Steel dragons also have a deep-seated resistance to absolute authority, even when it is used for good. This puts them at odds with other metallic dragons, particularly those of the species bronze and gold, whom often justify their actions through power and experience. Within their chosen communities, steel dragons work subtly to promote freedom and to undermine oppressive forces. Differing from most other types of dragons in their approach to treasure, steel dragons prefer to invest in property and business rather than amassing piles of gold and jewels. This allows them to further embed themselves into the societies they inhabit. When they do collect physical treasures, steel dragons favour works of art, books, and magical items over raw wealth, and their collections reflect their refined tastes and deep appreciation for culture and history. Steel dragons often prefer to resolve their conflicts through conversation rather than combat, similar to their brass dragon kin. When forced to fight, they rely on magic rather than physical strength. They can cast cleric-level spells as arcane magic, and have access to spells from the knowledge and trickery domains, allowing them to deceive and outsmart their opponents. A steel dragon can breathe both a line of acid and a cloud of poisonous gas, making them dangerous even at a distance. If a battle turns against them, they are likely to teleport away rather than risking defeat. Steel dragons often make their homes in castles, towers, palaces or mansions rather than caves. Assuming influential roles within their communities comes with a lavish lifestyle, and steel dragons are usually quite wealthy. While they typically eat in their humanoid forms to maintain appearances, this provides insufficient nourishment. Every 3 10 days or so, they must excuse themselves to friends and secretly hunt in their true dragon forms to sustain themselves. Moving on now to cover some of the most notable silver dragons in existence. The Confluence was a secretive and loosely organized group of half-steel dragons based in Waterdeep, dedicated to protecting the city from shape-changers attempting to infiltrate. Their primary enemy in 1374 DR was the Unseen, a shadowy organization of shape-changers. The Confluence's allies included influential noble families such as the Bladesomer, the Tesper, and House Thongalir, who helped raise the half-steel offspring, as well as the Harpers and the Moonstars and the local church of Saloon at the House of the Moon. Their enemies included the Church of Malar and the people of the Black Blood. Membership within the Confluence required sponsorship from a patron, typically a parent or other influential figure. Members were expected to perform services for their patrons, and often hired adventurers to carry out their missions, though their true identities were always kept secret. They travelled throughout Waterdeep in disguise, whether by magical means or through more conventional methods, in order to protect their true nature from public view. The Confluence originated with 2 steel dragons, Antir Lothtor and Quitterite. During the Harpstar Wars of 1182 to 1222 DR, the 2 dragons fought alongside noble women against the Morlogrim in Waterdeep. Over time, the dragons produced half-breed offspring who were raised in secret by the noble families of the original dames, thus defying Waterdavian's nobility's traditions that barred half-dragons from entering their ranks. By 1254 DR, the half-steel nobles had matured, and the Morlogrim launched another subtle attack on Waterdeep. Thanks to the veterans of the Harpstar Wars, the threat was quelled, but the Confluence was founded to prevent future shape-changer infiltration. Over the years, the group thwarted numerous plots, including exposing the eyes of the Golden Hawk in 1291 DR, a secret sorcerers guild of Morlogrim, who had spent 10 years trying to undermine the Lords of Waterdeep. In 1331 DR, the Confluence uncovered a plot by high-ranking members of the Master Mariners Guild, who were weresharks, and foiled their criminal plans. The group's most significant conflict during this period was with the Unseen, which began in 1363 DR. The Confluence battled the Unseen on numerous occasions, including the Rat Hills conflagration and the unmasking of doppelganger courtesans at the Hanging Lantern Festival. They even reported the Black Admiral, a pirate leader, to the Lords as a doppelganger. The only shape-changer allowed in Waterdeep was one known as Amaroon, who posed as Lady Nail Erlingstar at the personal request of Elminster Ormar. The steel dragon Jalanvalos was a master of intrigue, a schemer and manipulator who thrived on chaos and unpredictability. Driven by a desire to keep her city dynamic, she orchestrated upheaval in the lives of nobles, merchants, and adventurers alike, always working to expand her power and influence. Fickle, but not malicious, she used her cunning to weave webs of deception and manipulation, earning a reputation that some described as being as greedy as a red dragon. Her keen observation skills allowed her to pick up on even the smallest details, which proved invaluable in her many schemes. Jalanvalos was also a consummate actress, capable of wearing countless faces and playing different roles to further her objectives. Her age gave her an impressive wealth of knowledge, and she could recall the genealogies of Waterdeep's noble families, as well as the complex histories, alliances, and rivalries of the various factions and cabals. Jalanvalos dedicated much of her efforts to building a vast mercantile empire, using her wealth and influence to expand her reach across Waterdeep. She was not just a powerful figure in trade, but also a shrewd operator in the city's political scene. Her wealth allowed her to carefully cultivate relationships with key individuals and groups, including powerful merchants and influential nobles. Her ultimate goal was clear. She sought to build an empire where humans and elves could live without fear. She believed in the necessity of her rule to maintain order and prosperity, though she understood the great risks involved in such an ambitious plan. Her long-term approach meant that she carefully cultivated her influence, playing a game of patience and strategy. Jalanvalos knew the dangers of trying to impose her vision on a city as volatile and unpredictable as Waterdeep, so she took great care in the execution of her plans, always keeping an eye on the future while adapting to the present. I hope the knowledge you've gained here helps you on your adventures, and if you liked the video, I've left a box for feedback near the door, along with a handy device that notifies you when I'm ready to talk about our next creature. Safe travels, adventurers.